after hour, minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody talk about heaven ain't going. Tell me why are we too blind to see that the one we heard are you and me? Tell me why are we too blind to see that the one we heard are you and me? Hey, I see you looking. Hey, girl, how are you? What's going on, sis? Are you enjoying this hot weather? And it is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Hobbity, 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 hobbity. It's hot out here, guys. Hey, Bushwatchers. Hey, Diane. Hey. Hey, Chelsea girl. I love your comments. So, guys, let's talk, okay? I want to bring some things to everybody's attention. Hey, Dorothy. So, today is a sad day for our nation. Hey, Tammy, aka Mimi. Hey, Faith Kelly. So, guys, you all know that the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and they're making all of these decisions that's gonna affect all of us. Hey, Time with T. Hey, Otavia. So, guys, they bet doing us all the way. We're so focused on bull and messing up each other's life and craps in the bucket, all this stuff. Hey, Nikki Wise. They are backdooring us, guys. They're taking away all this stuff that they put in place. They're backdooring us. That's what I'm calling it. Hey, Simmons. How are you? I've been talking about you, praying for you, missing you. I'm so happy to see you guys. So today, they have rolled back affirmative action, guys. They have rolled back affirmative action with the colleges and stuff. So, hey, Indigo. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, Simmons, because we going to keep you lifted. We going to keep you lifted, and you're going to be just fine. So, guys, when I heard that, I was just like, oh, my God, look at these people. You know, when the 45th president was in office, he put a lot of independent judges in the Supreme Court that, they had these, let me see, what word am I looking for? Had these views for us, So you all know that the last part of last year, they reversed Roe v. Wade. They backdooring us, guys. We're losing our rights and ain't nobody paying attention. So first they attacked the women, and now they making it hard for women to have abortions and stuff like that. Now I remember back in the 60s and stuff, my mom used to be telling me how women used to be, they get pregnant and didn't want the pregnancy, and our government wouldn't let women have abortions then, and they was going through all these back alleys and stuff, getting it done anyway, and a lot of women was dying behind it. They bleed to death and all kind of stuff like that. And so they passed the law, Roe v. Wade, so women can have, it would be legal for a woman to terminate her pregnancy if she didn't want the pregnant, but she had to do it before 3 months. Before 3 months, they had to do it before 3 months. But anyway, so they did that. The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, they reversed that. And now they make it where all of these different states can decide whether they want to pass the law, but it's a national law that it's against the law to have an abortion. Now they coming at the affirmative action that they put in place, so the different institutions, the colleges and stuff like that, cannot block different races from getting a higher education. And so now they have done now, yes, Celeste. A lot of women died going to those back alley abortion clinics trying to terminate their babies. A lot of women died. It was so bad they had to pass this law to legalize abortion. That's how bad it was. So now they rolling us back. They rolling us back. And I'm just checking them out. I'm just looking at all this stuff that's taking place that nobody's really paying attention to. So I say that they back doing us. So guys, I don't like to be rude. I hope I spoke to everybody before I started this deep conversation. I think I did, but let's keep it going. So they back doing us. Faith Kelly say, Granny, the next thing that would take us back to Jim Crow. They working on it. They are working on it. Do you see all of these skinhead and white supremacist group coming rising up against us right now? I mean, and then they getting away with stuff. They're getting away with too much. I think it's too many of our young folks disappearing. I think that too many of our young girls are disappearing and ain't nobody doing anything about it. I really think that they're taking our young girls and they selling them overseas so where we'll never see them again. We saw the movie what they came up with Ian. What was the name of that movie when he had to go get his daughter? Taken. That movie Taken. That's some real stuff. And it's more permanent now. We're seeing it, but we're not seeing it. But they backdooring us. And when Trump, I didn't mean to say his name, but when the 45th president put those Supreme Court justices in place, this is what he was doing to roll back some stuff, to take some stuff. So whether anybody agree with me or not, but I think this man is a prejudiced man. I was told that his grandfather was a grand wizard. That's what I was told. I don't know how true it is. But anyway, the grand wizard is the highest person in the Ku Klux Klan, if nobody know what I'm talking about. But then I just always feel that about him because he let too much stuff slide. And when he used to tell the police is, when you lock them up, he was talking about us, our race. Don't be so nice. Don't put your hand on their head and push them down into it. Just slam their heads into the car and get them in. That's what our president said. Our 45th president. That's what he said to the police officer, giving them permission for that's brutality. But anyhow, guys, so when I heard that today, it was just sad for me. I said, man, that's two. They don't wrote back two things that we had in our favor. Affirmative action. So, okay, let's say they started with the institution right now, right? The colleges. It's going to trickle down to jobs. They're going to stop hiring different races. They just going to want, only going to be like it used to be. Corporate America used to just be white. Corporate America used to just be white. It was no room. It was no room for us, and that's when they passed affirmative action. You had to have a certain number of minorities working for your company. They just took that out today. They took that out, and why did people in here fighting each other? All of us, we call ourselves strong women. Hey Bridget, hey Lawanda, we say we're strong women. Hey Trinity, hey Indigo. Hey, Mr. Blue, look at all this stuff that's going on. And we on this social media fighting each other. When we could take a stand and have a voice in things. See, I'm about this life. This is the life I'm about. These people they done too much stuff. They backdooring us. When are we going to wake up? When it's slavery time again? I'm telling y'all, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I ain't going back that far. I'm not going to go back that far. They're going to have to take me out of here. I'm not going back to slavery time. I'm not going back to Jim Crow time. Talking about Rosa Parks, ask Granny. They not gonna roll everything back on me like this, you know. I don't want to live in a world like that. I don't want to live in a world where uh, people walk around thinking they superior over you. I don't want to live in a world like that because we're equal. God made man and woman. So I don't know why this certain race running around thinking they're supposed to be superior over us. You know, we had our own homeland in Africa. They came to our homeland and brought us here to build their land. And once we build their land, I'm with my grandkids and everybody. I don't want them to be too loud. I'm on live, guys, so hold it down while I talk. So they went to Africa and brought us over here. And once they brought us here, you know, they abused us after they promised us a pipe dream. If we came we was gonna build this land together. That was the plan. That was the plan. We were supposed to build this land together. But then, of course, they got power tripping. They got the power tripping. And they decided, well, hey, why we got to pay them? We ain't got to pay them. Where they going to go? They ain't got nowhere to go. Let's make them our slaves. And that's what they did. And they got away with it for 400 years. So, you know, if ain't nobody paying attention, you all better wake up. We're going to be back in slavery time if we keep letting the Supreme Court judges take things away from us that we had for our protection. See, that's two things that we had for our protection that they don't knock right out. Roe v. Wade and affirmative action, gone. So you all need to be careful who you're voting for. Your vote matters. Don't sit at home and say, well, my vote don't matter. Your vote matter. Every vote counts. Just like the 45th president tried to steal the election. He did everything. But see, it didn't work because he didn't have enough votes. He even called here in this state asking somebody to find votes for him. See, if you don't have the vote, then you can't win. But so please don't sit on your hands and say, well, if I voted, it ain't gonna matter anyway. It does matter. It matters when you don't vote. That's why they're getting away with all this. We put them in office. The Supreme Court judges, we nominated them. So now they're the highest court in the land and they taking away everything from us. So you guys gotta like, Chelsea say entitlement, and we not supposed to have any. Yeah, I don't know, boy. Misty Blue says some of the towns in North Carolina sold slaves. Smithfield and Fayetteville, North Carolina. Sad. It's sad. And the really sad thing about the whole situation is we got people want to go back to that time. Can y'all believe that they want to take us back to that time where they can whip us and make us do what they want us to do and not pay us anything? We got people in the world wanting to go back to that. That's sad. That was a dark time for this country. Everybody should be in an uproar for taking that affirmative action back today and turning back the clock on Roe v. Wade. Nikki said, "You right, ex-Granny." Bridget said, "Granny, if people would grow up and get whatever they have to do this social media, I believe everything would be all right. Talk is cheap, but when talk is cheap, but when an individual hits you, then that's a different scenario. Absolutely. If they just get with the program, Bridget, and stop all this hate, for what? And then we're fighting against each other. It's no other races over here doing this, you know. I look at even the people that came from Africa, they got a social media platform. Boy, they be supporting each other. You hear me? They doing great things. I started a YouTube channel. They had a whole country of Africa, no subscribe. They're subscribing and support them. But what do? Look at her. She thinks she's special. Who she thinks she is? You can't even just say, come and support me. What I'm going to support you for? What your channel all about? All of this. If I ask you to support me and I'm trying to make a difference in the world, say, oh, that's a great idea because there's not many people trying. I'm going to support you. I'm going to support you. Like I said, early on when I first started my YouTube channel, it was a lot of people coming to my channel. They would subscribe to my channel. I would subscribe to their channel. And right today, I can't tell you all the channels that I subscribe to. I subscribe to many of channels, and I never took the subscription back. Why? Why take the subscription back? Let those people go on with that subscription. It ain't taking out one piece of bread from your mouth. Let them have that free subscription. It's no big deal. You didn't pay for it. You just subscribe to somebody so they can maybe come out here, have a voice in things, and maybe make a change in the world. You never know who you are being a stumbling block for. And we don't want to be a stumbling block for people. I'd rather be a stepping stone than a stumbling block. I'm not trying to block your blessing or what you got or what God put you here for. You know? Chelsea say, I'm guilty. I've taken a few back. Well, you're not the only one, Chelsea. Plenty of people have, but I never have because I wasn't that vested. Or somebody say, could you support my channel? Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to make 1K. Click. I'm not so focused on if you're not talking about what I'm talking about, I don't gotta go and listen to it. I just gave you a subscription to help you get to your 1K to get started. If I'm not feeling you, then I'm not gonna be in your chat. I'm not gonna be on your channel. It just like that. Like I didn't go around trying to remember everybody I subscribed to. I gave them my subscription and my blessing, and I moved on. You know, that's how you're supposed to be. Bridget said, Granny, absolutely, it makes no sense. And then they're saying blacks. Black life matter, but sisters are tearing each other down and brothers are fighting each other. Make that make sense. Thank you, Bridget, for the super chat. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I love you. I appreciate that. And not just that, Bridget. They say black life matter, but look at all this black on black crime. I say, what has happened with everybody? You know, like back in the 70s and the 80s, we were like, fight. We would fight. And then, you know, you live to fight another day. Now people just like, I don't know, cowards. Only thing they want to do is say, pow, that's it. They just want to be over with. You know, instead of just over words. Just over words. You could go and just fight it out and be done with it. You ain't got to take somebody's life. Because, you know, every person that pull a trigger and take somebody's life, we don't lose one, we lose two. Because one is going to go underground and one is going to go in the system. One going to be in prison for the rest of their life, and one of them gave their life, lost their life, and now they're buried. You know, make that make sense. Make that make sense. It makes no sense. Yes, put the guns down, says Chelsea. Yeah. Hey, Willie. Hey, Willie Ann. She say, amen. Say it, Granny. That's true, exactly, guys. You know, I tell people all the time, Granny can go really, really deep. I be out here playing around with these people, but I came to my platform really to make a difference. And I just wish there were more people. But it always starts with one. You know, it always starts with one. And when I come on and I be having these serious talk, I have so many of you guys that's for. It's so many of you guys know where I'm coming from. And I love that. That lets me know that you all are informed about what's going on and you are awake. You have your eyes open. That's awesome. That is so awesome that you all are paying attention. You're woke. You got to be woke. Because all of this, well, we got a lot of ignorant people out here that ain't paying attention and they just chasing a dollar. They just chasing a dollar. down a foxhole that leads to a dead end, ain't going nowhere. You get the dollar and then you blow the dollar. It ends up you still ain't nowhere, no further ahead, but put somebody down or chop somebody up or messed up somebody's life, or you're doing all of this for what? What are you doing all of that for? It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the things that we witness out here. And I just ain't seen a lot of females out here that that's political, that want to be empowering, that's paying attention to all of these laws and stuff that we're losing. That's talking about how many young folks is just taking each other out. I know crime is ridiculous in this state of Georgia. It's just ridiculous how so many of our young people they just they don't know how to resolve disagreements. And the most shocking thing that I have ever heard was when this 12 and 14-year-old, these two kids lost their lives. And when they lost their lives, let me see, get my keys. When they lost their lives, they said that it was about 18 to 20 young folks, anywhere from the age of 10 to 18. They got into a fight, and do you know they said everybody was pulling out guns? We talking about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids all walking around with guns. Make that make sense, guys? And the gun factory, the NRA, is getting richer. Their pockets getting fatter and fatter, and they study producing all of these guns. So how is our young people getting a hold to the guns? Are they just selling a gun to anybody on the street? I mean, if you got the money, can anybody go buy a gun? Can my 6-year-old go buy a gun because somebody's bullying them in school? We got 6 and 7-year-old children with guns. Did y'all hear about the 6-year-old that shot his teacher at school? Just crazy. That makes no sense. When I was younger, I used to say, can no little child shoot no gun? Because a gun is not real heavy, but it's a little heavy. And to pull a trigger, those little bitty fingers, how they pull a trigger? They just made the gun so easily, the trigger so easily to pull back. I still remember the old day when you had to pull back on the trigger to shoot the gun. Now the only thing you got to do is touch the trigger and the gun will go off. So it's just so much ridiculous stuff going. Instead of the Supreme Court trying to pass some gun laws, guys, to save us, they taking our laws, our race. They taking the laws and turning our laws back that is here to protect us. But say something about a gun law, you ain't gonna hear nothing but crickets. You won't hear nothing but crickets. Nobody wants to talk about that. You know why? They all bought. They're all bought. Bridget said, Granny, we will fight and play the next day if nothing happened. Amen, Bridget. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. And there was nothing wrong with that. You get beat up, everybody laugh at you, but you live it down. That made us stronger. That made us stronger. What happened to our kids where you can't even say words to them? You say a word that it just breaks their heart. I say, well, damn, what is going on with the people? Why is everybody so mush? I mean, why is everybody so, what word, guy? Why is everybody so, you can't say a little small word and just tear them to pieces. Our young folks, it's just crazy. Chelsea say, yes, Bridget, so true. Kia say, hey, Granny, hey, Kia. Put the guns down and pick up the Bible, says Bridget. Thank you, Bridget. I love that. trying to enlighten our people, says Chelsea. Yes. What is you at? Where are you? Rebecca say, where are you? In the state of Georgia. T-Stat say, Bridget, amen. Uh, Bridget say, Granny, in other countries, they say teaching their babies how to use guns. I know in the communist states, like in Japan and China, yeah, they have a dictatorship where they decide what a child is gonna go, what a child gonna do in their lifetime. So they start them early. If they're gonna be part of their army, they start them very young. Absolutely. Hey Carlos, how are you? Would like you for an interview now live. Channel Mr. T, Mr. T would like you for an interview now live. The life of Patricia say, hey Granny in chat. Bridget say, Granny talk with you later, daughter on the phone. Okay. I love that you all stay in contact, trying to get me to come to Korea. Chelsea say, exactly. See that money gained for them guns. Queen V say, Granny, hey, Granny, your hair is beautiful. Oh, I hit the thumb. Okay. And say, hello, Granny. And Chelsea say, sensitive. They are so sensitive now. Our young people are so sensitive, guys. And so I was just thinking about that today when I heard that. I said, man, what are they doing to us, guys? They done did two things in 2 years. I don't know what we're gonna do, but let me tell you guys, I'll give you an eye opener. The next vote thing that comes along when we gotta come out and vote, guys, don't just vote for the primary, guys. This is where they get us, okay? Don't just vote for the primary. We gotta vote for the stuff that they sneak in, like those 2 years. People running for office for 2 years. Those are judges that we are appointing in our cities, our governors, our mayors. We got to get out and vote those votes. We got to get out and vote those elections also, because we're gonna have to save ourselves. You know what the Bible say? My people, God say, my people will perish due to lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. My people will perish due to lack of knowledge. That's why we're gonna perish, guys, because we don't stay abreast of things. We turn up. We waiting on somebody else to save us. Ever since Dr. Martin Luther King was our civil rights leader and led us to the promised land, which were the races mingling together and everybody coming together as one. Ever since he brought us to that point, before they took him out, we have always, our race, in my opinion, have always been searching for a hero. We always been searching for a hero. See, we waiting on somebody else to save us. But we got to first save us from ourselves. We got to save ourselves from each other, because we are our own worst enemy. The only thing that, I don't want to sound racial or anything like that, but the only thing that the white man is doing, he give us the equipment. Like, they give us all the guns, they give us all the drugs that we want, and those two combinations is deadly. Drugs and guns are deadly, but you find more drugs and guns in the black community than you do in the white community. Not saying that it's not in the white community, but it's more prevalent in the black community. You don't see these white folks running around with all these guns. They children got all these guns. They have just broke down the black family structure so bad, guys. I remember when I was coming up, they have observed us so closely, and they saw that our kids were so mannerable and so respectful, and they kids were so wild and rowdy. And so the first thing they did was, let us see what are they doing to get those kids to be so respectful and so mannerable and so good, so disciplined. Oh, so they put that rod on them because the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. So being Black Baptist, the black people race have always disciplined their children, because the Bible tell you to discipline your children. You either discipline your children or they're gonna grow up like weeds. And when you say grow up like weed, a weed is just grow up wild. That's exactly what that means. Your child is gonna grow up wild if you don't discipline your child. But the people started having babies that was like mentally challenged, and they didn't know how to discipline their kids, and they beat the kid till they kill the kid. So it got crazy like that. You're supposed to know how far to go when you discipline your child. Like when you got a 2 and 3 year old and you say don't touch that because it's hot, it's gonna burn you. We used to just take their little hand, and that's all you had to do. It just hurt them so bad. It hurt their heart that mom or dad had just hit them. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to get no big old belt and beat no 2, 3, 4 year old child. What are you doing all of that for? You see what I'm saying? They takes it too far. And then one thing about our government, they have always watched us, guys. They have watched us. They watch everything that we do. They watch everything that we do. It makes me feel like we're really something special that they have hid from us. We're really something special. And the way that they killed us as slaves and stuff, the way that they hate us so, it's something very special about us. And it's something very fearful. They fear us so bad. It makes me think about, how you see a snake, or you might see a cockroach or a rat. You know how we kill those things? Because we fear those things. You kill what you fear. You see what I'm saying? So I like y'all know Granny can go really, really deep, and she can point some things out to you. Things that people don't really think about. We kill what we fear. Look how many of us that they have taken out, because I just think about my poor ancestors hanging from trees and cutting off body parts and burning at the stake. Who can stand and watch some crap like that? Who can watch a person being burnt alive? Who can watch that? I mean, they got to be some real devils, guys, to be able to watch something like that. They got to, and then they even let their little children stand right there in front of watching. Our ancestors went through some stuff. You hear me? They went through some stuff. It's just a shame how you take a man and you treat him like livestock. You give him drugs and make him multiply. You treat him the same way you treat cattle and bulls. You make them multiply. You give them something that make them just hump on everything and anything. They did some stuff to our race. We've been messed up a long time, I know that. They destroyed us a long time ago, and we have never been able to come back from that. We've never been able to come back from that. And they took us from our homeland, our motherland in Africa, and brought us to this country. To now, even the people in Africa don't even want us back. And then after they do, and they used us up and did everything they wanted to do with us, what do they say? Go back to Africa. A lot of us ain't never been to Africa before in our life. We wasn't born in Africa. So how we going to go back to somewhere we never been? You see? Just craziness. Crazy stuff. Oh, so you don't need me no more. You worked my ancestors to death. Now, what happened to my mule and my 30 acres? Where my mule at? Where my stuff at that you promised me? Am I saying it right, y'all? 30 acres or 20 acres and a mule. But guys, I'm just saying, but see, nobody want to talk about that now. Nobody want to talk about that. But go back to Africa. I get so tired of hearing white supremacist groups say stuff like that. Go back. Go back to somewhere you never been before. But if we don't be careful, guys, we in trouble. We are in trouble because we're gonna let them take us all the way back, and we just sitting here letting it happen. Everybody just letting it happen. We just sitting waiting on the next shoe to drop. It was just 1 year ago that they overturned Roe v. Wade. 1 year ago, wiped us clean, took away a woman's right to decide what she want to do with her body, whether she want to have kids. People, mistakes happen all the time in everything. So of course, even in when you're having sex, if you just want to enjoy each other and a slip up happen, and you don't want to help bring another life in the world, you should have the right to decide that now. I will let you guys know I'm pro-life, but I'm not for taking away a woman's right to decide. See, I'm pro-life, but I'm not for taking a woman's right away from her. What are you looking for? A trash can? Or you gonna put that back in the car? Okay. I'm not for that, so I don't want nobody to think Granny is anti I'm for abortions. No, I'm not. I'm pro-life. But I'm not for taking a woman's right to decide for what is right for her situation. Yeah. So when they did that, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm so old now that I can't have any more. I can't have any more, and I don't want any more. I'm happy about that. But what about my grandkids and my nieces and my nephew, my young people? They can't. They don't even have the right to decide anymore. It's been taken away. So we got to look out for them, older people. Let me see. I might have to take out another phone because I don't see anybody talking to me. So let me make sure I'm getting y'all comments. Because YouTube been straight tripping. Chelsea says sensitive life with Patricia say that's right, Granny. And Indigo say yes, they play us against each other. And sit back and watch. Sit back and watch us destroy each other. And it's just sad that none of us have the will or want to do better. Now, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I just want people to understand that seriously, myself, I be out here, I know y'all say, well, Granny, you be doing the same thing. No, I just be having fun. I really just be having fun, guys. If somebody say, Granny, let's sit down at a serious table and have a serious talk, I'll be at that table. But just clowning and having a good time, I do that. And having a conversation about something that I see, I don't see anything wrong with that. People have been talking since the beginning of time. It is nothing wrong with talking. Social media is just like a big soap opera. Just like back in the days, before we was able to communicate with each other all over the world and be in a single setting with each other, we still talked about the soap operas. I had like 2 or 3 of them that I used to enjoy. All My Children was my all-time favorite. General Hospital and One Life to Live. Those were my all-time favorite. But people like One Day to Live or Another Life or As the World Turned. We have always had soap operas, and we was able to elaborate on what we thought and how we felt. Everybody hate the villain. We talked to each other about, did you see what Mary Sue did? Because they will open up their lives, but it'd be a pretense. Oh, I like that. I like that. God, did you see that? How regular she is? Did you see her daughter on the drug? Oh, she slept with so-and-so husband. We have always did that. It's been fun to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now you come on social media and we get to do it with real life people. Now we're doing something so wrong. That is why they open up this social media and say, anybody want a platform, come on. Open up your life to the world. Just know that you will be talked about. You will be talked about. People want to turn it around, make it so serious. Oh, you're not supposed to judge. I don't be judging. I just be having a cordial conversation with anybody want to talk about a certain thing that we all saw. You know what I'm saying? So I just love the way people like to twist words around. Don't you all just love the way people like to twist words around to fit their own narrative? I love that. They love to twist words around to fit their own narrative. They around to fit their own narrative. Yeah, they love that part. They love that part. They try to make sure everything you do is so wrong. Uh, Thank you, Simmons. I really appreciate that $10. Thank you, guys. I got my chat back, guys. I can communicate with you guys. Let me see. Now I can see. Okay, I saw Bridget. Okay, so you guys come on, join in with the conversation so I can read your comments. Cause you two's crazy. I don't know, Carlos, Martinez, the entity channel, Mr. T would like you for an interview. Oh, that is so. Thank you. I have to look into that, Carlos. But right now I'm doing a live with my people. But thank you, though, Carlos. Thank you, and thank you for joining my platform this evening. Thank you, Carlos. Nice to meet you, sir. Okay, so let me see where we're going. Patricia said that's right. Indigo. Okay, Chelsea say Indigo. Hey, yes, divide and conquer. You better say it. You better say that. Divide and conquer. That's how they have us. That's what they did to us, guys. They separated us long time ago. You know, it just amazed me how they separated a group of people. The light-skinned people got to stay in the house, in the big house, and work in the big house. And the dark-skinned people had to stay out in the hot burning sun and slave in the sun. But hell, why did the light-skinned people think they were doing something so special? They were still slaves. They were still working for free. They were still getting beat if they did something wrong. The masters still raped their asses just like all the rest. So what made them feel so special? Because they was in the big house. We was all still slaves. They divided them way back then. They were divided way back then. They made the light-skinned slave thought they was better than the dark-skinned slave. And we still recovering from that mess. Light-skinned people in this world right there, they run around thinking they better than the dark-skinned people. Ooh, she black. Hell, we all black. Crazy stuff. Woo! Granny. Granny, Chelsea say, hey, exactly say Indigo. Girl, I tell you the truth. And our people are not taking heed at all. All the activists have fought and died fighting for our rights. And they just taking them away one by one right before our eyes. But look how I said his name again. Look how 45th president went up in there and he put the right people in place because he knew that they would do exactly what they're doing right now. He knew they would do it. And I was like, if we get him out of office, maybe we'll save ourselves. We got him out of office, but he had already planted the seed. He already let that Goverstar person in there. And then he put that lady in there, and they already had those viewpoints on how things should be. They already had those viewpoints. Goverstar and that lady that he put up in there. And look where we are now. Boy, I'm sad. It's a sad day for our nation today. Miss U2 on fire say, good evening, Granny. Good evening, Miss U2. She said, amen, Granny. I agree. Chelsea say, and they're not even helping the children and women here now. Nope. Miss U2 on fire said, Granny, can ask you a question, please? Sure. Hey, Granny. Hey, Tracy. What's the question, Miss U2? Chelsea say, hello, beautiful. Thank you for support. Simmons says Tracy. Thank you. Thank you. Tracy said, hey, Trinity. So guys, I'm sitting out here in the park, and my family is over there on the playground, and they was up under the pavilion eating. They had went and bought some chicken and stuff at Popeyes. So none of the children out there playing on the playground, and I just wanted to come and talk to my people. I just want to talk to my people. So Chelsea say,